Hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey! Shh! Good. So, Andrea and Frank's parents, this was good to see because I wanted to show you guys. I had a shorter video. Hey, shh. None of that. Thank you. I had a shorter video that I had filmed earlier. Hey, Frank, off. No. No. Off. Let's go. Not allowed up there. Shh. I had a shorter video earlier. Sorry, I keep getting interrupted. With these guys while I had Birdie on a leash because she had definitely had some issues with Frank, but I was glad to be able to let you see it. I took them both off leash because I felt like neither one of them really meant either one of them any harm, and I wanted to show Andrea, Birdie's parents, and I also wanted to show Frank's parents how they reacted to each other. This is a small tidbit, which is good because this is the first time they're off leash and they're kind of setting their own boundaries and their own limitations, which is exactly what I want them to do. Now they're kind of separating themselves, getting themselves a little bit of space, which I'm happy with. They don't have to play, they don't have to engage, they just have to socialize properly together, be around each other, react and interact respectfully, and have a little bit of space if that's all that's needed. Great. But it was good to show you, and obviously I'll be real honest, people don't realize, but I used Nike as a huge help, because if she's uncomfortable with the situation and we're pooping, she will let me know, and it will be determined how I interact and how I deal with the dogs based off of how she's feeling. And when they got into that half-second scuffle, nothing happened and she wasn't worried about it. So for me, now that they've kind of gotten their boundaries out of the way and they've gotten their understanding of each other out of the way, I'm much more comfortable with the idea that they can interact off leash with each other. Birdie, are you having some issues? But Frank is doing fine, so this way you guys know. You know, his first day here, he's got no real big issues. He tends to kind of, you know, test boundaries a little bit, but I expected that when I had him come. Birdie, oh no, Birdie's a little little stomach issues right here, but that's okay. A little stressed with Frank being here, so I'm not surprised by that at all. Are you okay, Birdie? Good boy, Frank. Frank, come. Shh. No, you don't get to do that. Frank. Shh. Come here, Frank. Frank, I want to see you. Birdie's gonna get out of the way. Come here, Frank. Good. Good boy. Yeah. Good girl, Birdie. Respect space, please. Good. I think Frank's a really good dog to have with Birdie around, or with Birdie around Frank. They both have their slight issues. They both have their tense moments. They both have their reaction moments. But I think they're definitely going to help each other learn over this next week. And I think it's going to be really good for both of them to interact with dogs that they're not necessarily completely comfortable with, and they have to respect. That was beautiful, you guys. That was great. Hey. Shh. Hey. Shh. Birdie. Frank, off. Birdie, shh. Off. Frank, off. Shh. You don't need to get in the middle of this, Birdie. Shh. Off. Come on. Boy. Birdie. Shh. Frank, off. Shh. Good. Now that that tense moment is gone away, I'm backing off. Good boy, Frank. Good girl, Birdie. And Nike. Listen, to reiterate, and I know this video is super long and I'm sorry, but this is a really good thing for both Birdie and for Frank. They're actually doing really well, and for the fact that they had short tense moments, they had really good moments, and they're engaging with each other, and it's only been the first few hours. So I'm actually extremely happy about these two, because I honestly wasn't sure how they'd get along. And yeah, there's some boundary issues, particularly on Birdie's part, and you know, oh, good girl, the ability to be able to kind of allow Frank to make mistakes. It's a big deal, and I think that over this next week she's going to learn much more about space and boundaries and everything like that, and Frank is definitely going to get more comfortable and, you know, interact with her and learn to feel more confident. Good girl, Nike. Good boy, Frank. Good girl, Birdie. But for Birdie, this is the biggest so far that she's done this week. She's had the best time this far. Hey, no, don't do that. You're allergic. I know. Oh, and there goes Nike. Trying at least. Good.